Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us today for this live stream event. My name is Alexia, and I am the Project and Event Manager of the Microsoft Reactor Toronto. I will be sharing session resources with you in the chat. But before we begin, I'd like to quickly review two items with you, our Code of Conduct and Event Guidelines. First, please take a moment to review our Code of Conduct. Microsoft Reactor seeks to provide a respectful environment for both our audience and presenters. We encourage engagement in the chat, but please be mindful of your commentary, remain professional and on topic. And secondly, our event guidelines. This session is being recorded and will be available on demand through the Microsoft Reactor YouTube channel in about 24 to 48 hours. I'll be sharing the link to our channel in the chat. And if you've not been on a live stream through YouTube before, please note that you must create an account on YouTube in order to interact and access the chat. You can set that up now, and if you're unable to use the chat but have questions, feel free to reach out to us on social media or on Meetup. Which brings us to today's session. I'm going to bring in our speakers here for the day. Oops, and there they are. Maria, Bruno, hi, how are you doing?
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Super happy to be here. And thanks, Alexia. And hey, thanks, Maria, for being here, sharing some time to talk about IoT with myself today.
Totally. Thank you all.
So, yes, if you want, we can start. Do you want to introduce yourself, Maria, please?
Of course. I am Maria Anastasia. I am from Greece. I am an Azure IoT MVP and a Gold Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. And I'm working as a software engineer at the Team Candy of InfoQuest Technologies. And I really love IoT. I really love presenting about it and about Azure. And I think that's all about me.
Thanks. And hello, my name is Bruno Capuano and work at the Toronto Reactor. I'm here in Toronto, not Canadian, notice the accent, I came from Spain, and I'm a cloud advocate in the Microsoft Cloud Advocate team. And I'm super happy, really super happy, because this month we are running the July IoT, which is, it's a nice, tricky, you can see the link on the bottom. It's a nice name to mix July and IoT topics. So during all the months, we are having sessions like this one. We are having interviews, doing demos. We are going to host a couple of sessions next week also in Spanish. But it's our chance to focus on IoT during the year. And again, we were talking with Maria. I'm a big fan of IoT, mostly from the hobby side, even if I am using Azure IoT and I use Azure IoT a lot. But it's a super interesting technology. And the idea for today is to basically chat with you and ask your questions and try to help you. If you have any question, feel free to ask them in the chat. We are going to show your questions here, and we try to help you to move forward and answer your questions. So before starting, because I know that people get, you start to think what you want to ask, we have a couple of pre-packaged questions, and I really like one that Maria shared with me, like this one. Which Azure service is better for me to start? So I don't know, Maria, what is your lesson learned, your suggestion or something here around the best way to start?
From my opinion, I think that if someone is new to Azure and to Azure IoT, I think that he or she have to start with IoT Central because it's similar to Azure IoT Hub, that is the main Azure IoT service. But Azure IoT Central, it's not a custom solution and has specific templates. So I think that it's it's easier for someone that starts to deal with Azure IoT. What's your opinion, Bruno?
I'm completely agree with you. Let me also say hi to Marcelo from Spain. I know that you are having an amazing summer there, super hot as usual. So thank Marcelo for being here. But yes, Azure IoT Central is a great place to start because, as you mentioned, the way that we have right now services in the Azure world is we have the IoT Hub, which is kind of the big brother. You have access to the bare components. You can do a lot of stuff. And IoT Central, it's kind of a layer on top that you still use Azure IoT Hub, but you have prepackaged dashboards, in example. So if you want to have a very quick analytics and dashboard of how your devices are connected and streaming data, you can quickly create there. The same way with integration with third party. If you want to automatically save your data in SQL database or in any kind of storage, Azure IoT Central make it much more easier. So I think it's also a super nice way to start. I will strongly advise to start. And also, as far as I remember, let me see if I can get the Azure IoT Central. We have also you can test it for free, and you can even create a full solution. I think it was a week that they give you for free. Let me see if I have.
Yeah, I think it's a week.
Yeah, so you can create. Let me share my screen, and if someone wants to take a look at how this works, this is Azure IoT Central. So there it is. Let me add it to the stream. Here we are. So you go to basically AzureIoTCentral.com. Let me ask Alexia if she can share the link here. And once you are here, let's hide the banner so people can take a better look here. Once you are here, of course, you have a super cool video how to start, but you're going to start to create your application. The idea here is that you create your apps, and when you create your apps, there are a couple of templates that I really like that if you're going to use, I don't know, and you have a store and you have some devices in your store and you want to manage the analytics inside the store, or you want to do smart inventory, there are plenty of stuff that they are already here that you can use, or you can go and create a blank application. Is going to ask you for your, of course, you need an Azure account and subscription to test this, but then we can do name Reactor, ask me anything, Azure IoT. Let's do this a little more, something like this. So we are going to have, as I mentioned, oh, sorry, not this one, this one. We're going to have these plans. Let me open Summit. We have here the options where, hey, we can try this for free, 1 week, super cool, super amazing. I also remember, and again, I haven't used this in a while, that while you are doing this, if you feel comfortable, you can move this to your subscription so you don't lose your work. You can also save the templates for here. There are plenty of stuff. Or, hey, here you have the different Azure pay options, standard 0, 1, and 2, where you can have, I don't know, 2 free devices, 5,000 messages for a month, or something like this. So you have plenty of options, and what I really like, let me go here to the create, all live subscription, not live, directory, Azure free trial, is US. Once you create this, as we mentioned, now you have the option to start to add devices, to start to add plenty of stuff that I really like. And hey, what I did, and I really can't remember about this, I don't know if you tested. If you want to test the environment and you don't have a device, you don't have, I don't know, an Arduino device or a Raspberry Pi or professional and more expensive device, you can even use your phone. You install an app in your phone, and this app is going to do going to send some kind of telemetry, and this is super fun. You have here a step-by-step of how you can install this app in your phone, and this app is going to send your location, is going to send your battery level, your accelerometer information, and then it's going to be shown, as we mentioned here, in the Azure IoT Central in a super easy and quick way. So yes, I will agree. Azure IoT Central is the main and most amazing starting point to start. I don't know. Do you want to add any other comment comment or something else on top? Let me share this link also.
I think that I agree with you, and the smartphone app, it's very cool and it's very easy solution for someone that starts and haven't sensors and modules and all the things of IoT. It's a very good solution for the beginning.
Yes, and also this is also related to what is also Dom asking. So sorry if I am saying your name wrong. I always try to learn the good way to pronounce names, but it's asking about how to decide what propose to a customer. About a customer on a solution, which approach basically IoT Hub, DPS, or IoT Central. I will say, and I'm going to ask you, Maria, what you say later. It depends. So, in example, one of the challenges that you have in IoT Central, which again I really like, is that it's not real time. I mean, you can stream from your devices real-time info to the Azure IoT Central, but the charts that we have by default, they are not doing kind of streamline and real-time analytics. So we are not going to see your charts updated in real time. So sometimes that's kind of a problem because you need real-time information. But I always ask my friends, my colleagues, my clients, do you really need real-time information? Or a 5-second delay, it's good enough. And I think it's 5 seconds. So if you have a chart and you have an example, we have our phone and our phone is sending telemetry data, and we are sending this information or temperature data, 5 seconds is usually good enough. It's most of the time is good enough, and that's fine. And hey, you get out of the box a lot, as we mentioned, a lot of dashboard, telemetry, jobs, data export capabilities on Central. So I will probably say if you can start, unless you have a very big solution and you know that you need a hub, with Azure IoT Central, that's a great place. And hey, if you need to move to the hub, you already have your devices connected, you already have DPS, you already have everything there. But the main concern is probably if someone asks for real-time whatever. As far as I remember, I understand, is not here. I don't know, Maria, what do you think? Oh, I hide the question, sorry.
Yeah, I think I agree. It depends on this point, and this will be answered by the one who wants this solution. Yeah, I agree with you, Bruno.
Yes, and I am also going to talk about this, which is not my expertise, and it's also super tricky. That hey, keep cost in mind. Azure IoT Central basically use a lot of services. Basically is an abstractor layer in top of the other services. If you plan to do Azure IoT Hub plus storage plus Event Hub or whatever, you start to need to do numbers. And hey, numbers are important. Numbers are part of what we need to do. I will also advise if someone wants to do this, and I think that we talk about this before start. I'm sorry, not before start, in our email threads about this. There is a super cool article. Let me share my screen again. About it's kind of there it is, and let's add here. There it is. So it's basically a set of frequently asked questions for Azure IoT Central. And hey, I don't know all of the questions, but sometimes this is a good place to see, I don't know, how many Central's application I can have in my subscription, or how I can learn the difference of DPS, the device provisioning services, which is the same for Central and IoT Hub, but how it works. So I need to make a decision. So Going to the docs, I know it's not the answer that usually go there. Is my first time to, is my first resource. I go and try to read them because there's a lot of info. Let me ask, and I'll also ask Alexia to share these questions. And also I see a couple more other comments. So let's see if we have another question. Oh no, these are just the comment. And remember, we have more minutes to talk about this. Love the questions. Thanks, Marcelo. Thanks also for interacting. We are here to help. And if you want, do you want to switch to another question? Maria, thanks to you also. Happy to help.
Thank you. Do you have?
I know I have. Let me add this one. Yes, I have one of the ones that we have that you shared with me. How I deleted this one. It's bad format, so there it is. Save, and I like this one that you shared. How do you start with IoT and Azure? What is your, if you are a starter, a beginner, which is a good place to start?
Yeah, I think that first of all, someone who wants to start with IoT and Azure IoT have to love, of course, technology and to love to be informed of all of these things in their life. Second, I think that he have to buy some things, but it's not very. Someone can also use simulators, but I think that if someone wants to deal with IoT seriously, maybe sometime he has to buy some modules, some sensors, and some electronics. And then I think that he have to start building things and projects from very simple projects like temperature stations, and then he has to move to more difficult ones. I don't know what is your opinion about this, Bruno?
Oh, no. I really agree. I think that depending, this is kind of this hobbies / learning path that you can start for free, testing Azure IoT for free, testing simulators online for free. But then you can go from 0 to 1,000. There is no limit there. But hey, if someone, and I like what you mentioned, if someone really want to learn more, I will strongly suggest go for a simulator, do a couple of tutorials. Let me share my screen again. In our July IoT, this is the July IoT page. We are doing live streams. Jim is doing IoT for beginnings streams. We have plenty of materials that if you want to start there, but then you switch to the mode where you need to, there are plenty of devices. What can I buy? What can I use? Should I go for Arduino? Should I go for a Raspberry Pi? And the Raspberry Pi right now are super expensive because we are dealing with this global shortage of chips. So it's hard. What I will probably advise, let me switch to my devices, houses case. I really love this device. This device is, have it here. This device is called a Guido Terminal. It's a super small device. It's an Arduino-based device. So Arduino, for the people who don't know, is probably the most popular IoT hobby device in the world. Yes, that one, the Arduino Uno. It was created by an amazing group of open source enthusiasts in Italy 10, 15 years ago, I can't remember. And then on top of Arduino, people start to build a lot of stuff. So this is a specific version that it sells from a company called Seed Studio that has a small screen on top. This, what you see here, is a TFT. It's super simple, 320 by 240 the resolution. So this is not a smartphone, but it's good enough. But you have a wireless chip here, so you can connect to a Wi-Fi, you can connect to a Bluetooth, you have even can put an SD card and record stuff here. They have a couple of ports to connect devices and sensors, have button, has an accelerometer. So hey, I can't remember the price, but this is not very expensive, and you have sensors on here, you have interaction. This is a super interactive device. Then, as Maria showed, you can always go for Arduino, and Arduino, depending which one do you have, can't remember the price, but you can start very, very, very cheap. I mean, there are no official version of Arduino, which are very, very cheap, and it's a great place to start. It's super, super great. Mostly in C, C++. What do you use in Arduino, Maria? C, yes?
C++, and yeah, and C. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I know some people also use Python, and also not Python, one of the tiny version of Python. I think it's MicroPython or Tiny Python. I can't remember. So that's probably a good place to start. Learning, if you already know C or C++, good. If not, that's going to be one of your to-do list. Also, choose a device, choose one of the devices that you can use. And from there, last 3 months or 4 months ago, we also released a library to connect these devices to Azure IoT. So when you do your Hello World, which is usually make a LED blink or something like this, you can start to grow from there to connect your device to the cloud. And then when you connect your device is connected to the cloud, you can start to talk about telemetry and this kind of stuff. And again, this is an amazing world, because this device with the standard battery, or the one that the Arduino Uno that Maria showed, you can run it for months with a single battery. They are very, very power consumption in the low scale. So there are plenty of things that you can do. But I will probably say start with a simulator if you want, as Maria mentioned. And when you are ready, spend some time, contact myself or Maria if you want, probably, to give us, we can share our preferred one. Right now, in the last year, I'm a super fan of this one. I also do a lot of stuff with Raspberry Pi, but again, I know that the Raspberry Pis are expensive today. And hey, I will really, really bet on once you start, you are going to have fun. I mean, I have a lot of fun. So it's going to be a fun process there.
Mm-hmm. Also, Azure has a simulator for Raspberry Pi, so it's very very good for the beginning. Very good start.
Yeah, sorry, I'm mute. And you can check. Let me check the URL. It's not this one. It's for beginner. I will share a link later that you can do from zero to hero to do the Azure IoT for beginners, and basically use, if you don't have a device, use the simulator. If you have a device, use more. So let's move to another question. I have here one from Marcelo. Where is Windows IoT? Any future plans? I can tackle very quickly this one. Right now, Windows 10, it's supported as a Windows. There is a specific version of Windows 10 supported as an Azure IoT device. So you can run Windows 10 and you can start Azure IoT client there. So your Windows 10 will be an Azure IoT device. So I don't think that we are going to have Windows IoT in the future. I will probably need to ask, but hey, if you need Windows and Azure IoT, you can have both. And we also only have 5 more minutes. And we also have asking question around Azure Sphere. How is the role? Do you have, I know a little about Azure Sphere. I used to have one. Do you know? Do you have the chance to play around with the Sphere? Do you want to have a Sphere?
I didn't have a chance, but I really want. But I know that is a solution for creating devices with high security, and also has the OS part, the certified chip part. But no, I haven't the I have ever play and make solutions with it. Have you?
Yes, I used to have one here, and it's a super cool device, as you mentioned. It's kind of the top of the level device in terms of if you want to do IoT working with computer vision or with microphones or some other scenarios, you can use the Azure Sphere there because it's kind of a plug and play to connect to Azure IoT, so you avoid doing your own coding. You can even train computer vision models without doing any code in a visual environment. But at the same time, as Maria mentioned, it has a specific layer of hardware focused on security. So we can use this as an example, top device, how a device working in Azure IoT can handle security. And hey, there are external sensors like an array of microphone if you want to do something around voice commands or whatever. It's a great device. It's kind of expensive. It's over $100 on top, depending if you have the full package. But I saw a lot of amazing stuff that you can do with the Azure Sphere. But yes, I don't have one. I will probably need to see if I can find one to use it. I will switch, because we only have 2 more minutes, I will switch to Anish. I think we talked already about this. He asked if it's necessary to have an IoT device like a Raspberry Pi to explore IoT in Azure. No, you can start with the simulators, but at the end, I think that you learn a lot when you have a physical device like a Raspberry Pi, which are again super expensive right now. It's so sad, but even with a small, I don't have an Arduino around here, but with an Arduino or other device, you can start to learn there.
And also, Raspberry Pi has some versions that are that aren't so expensive. So maybe someone can search it a little and find some module that it will not very expensive.
Yes. Oh, let me show it to Anish. Yes, we can go for that one. And before I forget, we have, if you like this format, I know that 30 minutes was so fast already at the end, but please, if you have a couple of seconds, this is the link to our survey. This is thanks, Alexia. This is the event code, and let us know what do you think about this event, what we did well, where we can improve, what other topics do you want us to talk? If you want me with Maria again talking about Azure IoT to answer more questions, this is the place to share some feedback. And I am trying to find here my Azure IoT for Beginners links. I couldn't find it, but it's a super amazing module that we have from the cloud advocate that they created. And again, it's from scratch, it's from zero to create a full solution using Raspberry Pi, a video terminal, or a simulator for this. So I'm going to share this probably in my tweets later for this. So we have probably 30 more seconds. I don't know, Maria, if you want to share something with the audience. We are already in time.
I want to tell you to do things with passion, and if you love technology, keep it up. Thank you very much for having me. It was a very nice afternoon for me. Thank you.
Yes, and thanks everyone who were here. Please follow us in Twitter. You can watch the recording for this in our YouTube channel. See you in the next one with other topics. And thank you very much, Maria. It was a pleasure. And see you next one. Bye.
Bye.